the 400i as well as the final show from CIG. We've got some really interesting news out there. First, let's talk about the 400i. There was a very interesting thread on Spectrum from a user called John Bones, who actually asked CIG to revert the 400i. He asked for increased landing gear suspensions, increased high force express landing gear, distorting the design of the ship coding after good work. The 400i was not designed and sold between an ROC and an RC, blah 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 blah, yada. And there was actually a reply from a dev called Here I CIG. So we have the CIG tag, by the way. You are a CIG employee. It's not allowed on the Spectrum to impersonate CIG employee. It's not the CIG employee that you got very soon, but obviously it is the CIG employee. The yellow font, so that's why it was a bit confusing. But anyway, he says, hello, the 400i will be reverted back close to the original tuning and landing heights in the next PKU patch, which unfortunately has not been online today. We found that raising the 400i is stiffening the gears, compromising the feel of the landing and the role in which the vehicle is moving. First, it was something that I personally wanted to see if we could make it work, so I was given permission to try different tunings while in PTU, but raising the ship turned out to have too many knock-ons. So there we have it, guys. In the current PTU patch, it's possible to fit a rock inside the 400i, but this will be reverted back into how the 400i originally was. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I was a little bit, I cannot really understand the role of the 400i. I think they're going to keep the high capacitors because they've significantly improved the capacitors of the 400i, so that now it is a little bit more decent in combat. It was stuck to about 40, 50 if you push it a little bit, shots for its twin laser guns, but with the new capacitor, the upgrade,
Hello. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Sorry if there was some sound from a video that was playing. I didn't realize. And I don't know if it was showing on the stream, but there you go. Let's go. Juan Toledono. Hello. How are you doing? I hope everybody had a fantastic week and Saturday. And yeah, I hope that you are ready for spending some time relaxing and talking about art and nerdy stuff and painting and drawing. Maureen Lapis, hey, how are you? Very good, thanks. How about you? Welcome to the stream. But I'm very good, thank you. Had a fantastic day. Spent most of the day on the forest. Sorry. And it was pretty nice. A very good day, autumn day to walk on the forest with the family. So it was very nice. Richard, good evening to everybody. Hello, Richard. Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you here. How are you? Maureen, I'm fine, thanks. Good to hear. I'm just drinking a beer. So cheers, everybody. Salud. And yeah, I'm ready to start with our Dark Eldar Pirate. Simon, good evening. How are you? I'm very good, thank you. How are you, man? How is going your Nemesis art challenge? Lucius, hello. How are you? So I can't remember who of you did already see the film, but I'm very curious to hear opinions. It's I think still would be nice not to give any spoilers, but yes, overall your thoughts about the Dune film. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if by any chance any of you have seen the Foundation, I haven't seen it. I will probably not see it because I don't have the streaming service. I don't. I think it's Amazon, right, or Apple, or something. Yeah. But I'm hearing very wonderful things about it. So yes, I'm very curious. Simon, I'm fine. We took a little bit of a pause, so it will be a bit delayed, but I like what I'm producing at the time. Okay. Well, yeah, no pressure. No pressure. But I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with. Okay, so let's see what we do with our pirate. I managed to spend an hour only during the week. So I did a little bit more with the armor. I increased the overall contrast as well. And yeah, nothing more. I mean, didn't have that much time. And today I'm so thirsty. And I thought, like, what the hell? I'm gonna have a beer or maybe two. Um, it's nothing fancy, but it makes the job. Let's see. Just to give you guys an update, I'm and I'm still working on the Space Marines tutorial. I know this starts to be, it could become like a joke. Like it feels like it's taking me forever, and it is indeed taking me forever. But I promise you, I'm working on it. So at the moment, just to give you an picture of where I am with the tutorial series. So I have all the material ready for episode 1 and 2, plus the script. So I still need to record and edit for those two. And I am at the moment producing the material for the episode 3, which is about portraits and Space Marines faces. And yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take me, but after that I will start with the script. And when I'm done with that, I will have to finish the material for episode 4, and then write the script. Then I will have to record everything and edit everything. So still quite a lot, but it's moving forward. And hopefully I will have some time before Christmas, so to spend some quality time with it and really give it a big push. I would love to be ready with it before Christmas or around that time. So yeah, we'll see. Peter, hello, how are you? Welcome. Simon, damn, huge planning ahead. Yeah. It is, I mean, if I wasn't so busy with client work, I would have done it a long time ago. But yeah, it takes a lot of time and commitment. So I just need to scrap like some time here and there to do something. So yeah. And of course, I'm doing many other things at the same time. So that's the thing. I'm also almost done with a small new video for YouTube as well, where I'm actually using the recording of the Tech Priest, if you remember. So I recorded the whole process, and now I'm editing a video where I'm showing the process and I talk about it and use that excuse as an opportunity to talk about a very important topic about how to work as a professional. So hopefully, I hope it will be ready for next week. Richard, last time we were talking about slow movies. Yes, love them. I have watched Last and First Man last week, and I highly recommend this movie. It's more like a clip with audiobook, but it's great. Also, the music is cool. Last and First Man. All right. Lovely. Can you give me another clue about what is it about? Or you saw it on the cinemas, or is it an old film? Films. Good films, of course. I like so much good films, but yeah, films in general. It's such a awesome thing. I still remember. I don't know if you had these when you were kids, but I remember going to the theater that I became. Every time my parents were taking me there, it was such a special thing, uh, which it's if I look back, I feel that it's a little bit of a shame that now the cinema has become, at least for me, but I get that impression that cinema or the theaters is not such a big thing anymore because we are so saturated with media nowadays, right? We have computers, we can see films on the phone and things. So before you only could see films on the cinema, like with in great quality, and then of course you were lucky, they would play it on the TV at some point. So going to the cinema, I felt like such a great deal. And yeah, so I was so excited. So every single time I went to the theater, I remember that being so stressed because I couldn't stop wanting to see the film, but at the same time, I didn't want it to start because that meant that it was going to end at some point. So the moment that I was like so filled of good anxiety was before the film started, like when everybody's sitting and everything before it started. It felt like, yeah, such a I don't know why I'm talking about these things, like old fart stories. Starting to sound like a old grandpa. But yes. I was wondering what to put on her right hand, and I was thinking to put a head. She has a cat, so she's holding a head, the head of somebody. So the question is, should it be another Dark Eldar, like a rival, since they are such a murderer race, and they like to murder each other, or should it be another race? What do you think? I'm open for suggestions. Richard, it was on TV. This movie was shot by Icelandic director and music producer Johan Johansson, and is narrated by actress Tilda Swinton. All right. The Last and First Men. Sounds intriguing. Can you say a little bit more without spoilers? But what is the premise of the film, or like very vague terms, like a synopsis without spoiling any important stuff? Salud. Cheers. Santé. Isvekata. What else? Proust. Skål. Igichigadere. I forgot how it was in Japanese. Nazdrovie. And yeah, still I'm not drunk. It's very light beer, by the way. So no way I'm getting drunk with this. Belindami, hello, welcome to the stream. I don't think I recalled your name, so happy to have you here, and I hope that you are fine. Simon, Imperial Guard head or a classic Eldar, maybe like rival? All right. Yeah, I think like a human, it's a good contender, at least in my head, for another Eldar. Let's click record. And like always, just what's the word? A warning. I will be in some time I will have to be on the watch for the baby as well. So I might need to go and check from time to time. So as you are aware. So if I just leave, is because of that. But I will be back if it happens. Because you never know, Lord Commander of and Chapter Master of the Blood Angels. He sleeps like a baby, but still, he's having some rough nights these past days. So yeah, we'll see. The Crusader finally able to catch you live. Good. Happy that you did. You are here. How are you? The Crusader. All right. So just give a little context of what I'm doing at the moment. So at this point, what I've been focusing the most is on establishing a foundation for the full armor. So looking more in terms of the design, but also establishing the light and the value for the piece more than anything else. So I just spend most of the time doing that, and not so much aside from the some design elements. No much more design going on. Just trying to establish the basic foundation for the whole pose. How are their feet? So it's just like that simple. Okay. But yeah, talking about babies and stuff like that. Sorry if that is a boring topic, but well, I cannot avoid it. But but I was talking the other day with another friend that is also a dad, and we're talking about, at least for me, to the fact that now that I'm experiencing fatherhood and what all means, I just realized how big of a job it is, and how much respect I have now for all parents. I mean, you have all that uh, rational understanding that these things are. They take time. You have parents and kids around you, right, through friends and family, relatives, everything. So it's something that we are surrounded by. But until you go through it and you experience it, you don't really understand what it means. And so respect. And also for your own parents as well, right? So you're thinking like, oh, them. Not an easy job. Fantastic and lovely and wonderful experience, but sometimes it's tough. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Why it's not picking the color? Come on, there you go. Is something wrong with the brushes? I have many questions for you today. So I was wondering about Dune and if you have seen the Foundation as well. And I have another question. How many of you are gamers that you play often video games? And is any of you following or interested at all on Star Citizen? And why? What are your thoughts? I think it's a very interesting project. And I'm speaking as mainly as a developer myself. I'm looking. I know I have friends that are working in it, and I'm following very closely because I think it's a very interesting development process with its lights and shadows and controversy, of course. But yeah, as a concept, I think is a fantastic idea. But yeah, with so much going on, good and bad. So yeah, I'm very curious to see if you guys are following and what are your thoughts from your perspective. And then if you want, I can share my thoughts about it as well. If it's something interesting, but yeah. Lucy's paint towel. Oh no, Lucy's no. I'm sorry. I will not do that. uh, I, I, I think they are so boring. Sorry if you like them. I would rather see the ultramarines once again before painting a towel here. Richard, Last and First Man is sci-fi story, more like message from the last man, from the future to the first man from current time. More like message from last man from the aha, all right. Okay. Sounds I like the premise. I will check it up for sure. And it doesn't ring a bell. Is it a very how old is the film? Because there is also this thing being from Spain. For those of you that you are not from Spain, there is something very very curious that happens in Spain, and is that they decide to change the titles of the films, and sometimes they have nothing to do with the original title. So sometimes yeah, it's hard. I mean, now barely I see since I moved to Sweden, I don't see anything in Spanish like doubts. I only see the original version. But once I was living in Spain, then most of everything that you got was doubts and dubbed, and with the title change for most of the time. So if it's an old film, perhaps I know about it, but with a different title, I don't know. Cantabrian, good evening all. Hope everyone is well. Welcome, Cantabrian. How are you doing, man? hope that you are doing well as well. And the knee pads, they are pretty, it seems to be a little bit more complex. So let's see. Simon, I would love to play Star Citizen, but it seems time consuming and expensive game. But the scale of it is insane in terms of production. Yes, yes. I mean, well, I wouldn't say that it's. Yeah, I'm okay. Yes, I totally agree. I myself, I'm a huge fan of sandbox games. Basically, where they give you the tools to just do whatever the fuck you want to do on the game. So you are completely free to do anything you want. That's why I'm a big fan of DayZ. I don't know if you know about this game, but I played it from the very, very, very beginning when during the mod times, if you know about the game. Before it was a standalone game. So yeah, I love that concept, and I like the fact that Star Citizen is going taking that route. I was a huge fan of Elite Dangerous as well, but sadly, even though if it's a sandbox game, in some degrees, it's very limited into what you can do, in my opinion. And even though I loved it and I spent a lot of time playing on with it and had fantastic time, with the pass of time, I feel that the vision it's becoming more limited and not expanding to this free roaming type of game where you can do anything you want. And Star Citizen is going that route, and that's what I like about the premise and the vision. But of course, it's not an easy thing to do. But from my experience, even today, I wouldn't call it a game. It's more of a demo, and yeah, it is broken as hell because it's just like they are just putting assets in it and little by little constructing things, and I believe they will manage to do it. But at the moment, most of all the game loops they have, they are just work in progress, or it's just a placeholder. So maybe some things are starting to stay or are gonna stay the way they are at the moment. I think the as it called the flying model, it's very good now, and it's gonna remain this way. I heard, but for the most part, it doesn't make any sense to invest any time playing what they have at the moment because it's not in any shape or form a finished game. I mean, people keeps calling or referring to it as a game, and it is not yet. It is not. It is a promising project for a game, but for now, it is not a game. I mean, I have it, and from time to time, I just download it again just to check. And every time is the same. It's like, yeah, you see how things are moving forward and things, but it's very buggy. Not things don't work. It's a mess. As games on this stage are always. So it's not a it's not a complaint. It's just a statement of how things are. I understand how they are. But of course, I also understand all the controversy and people getting very anxious because it's taking such a long time. And yeah, you have to love all this internet drama. And in some cases, I think it's well deserved as well. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, and I mean drama from both sides, from those that are defending the projects and the other ones that are hating on it. And I'm very much on the middle, I think. And that's what I mean. That is very interesting from a developing point of view to see what happens. A lot of people argue that it's taking such a long time because it's very ambitious vision for the game, etc. And yeah, to some degree, but of course I don't know. I don't have any insight into what's going on in there, but from my professional experience and just by looking the development process from the outside and everything, I'm absolutely certain that there is also a lot of mismanagement involved through the years. A lot of waste of resources and time spent doing things that were not that important. I'm certain of it. So yes, it's super ambitious, and of course it's going to take a lot of time. People still nowadays, even the development has become a little less opaque as it was. People start to be a little bit more, start to know a little bit more, like in a very vague way, how things are done. And especially one good thing about this project is that they are very didactical in terms of giving a glimpse to people outside the industry of how games are developed. But still, people don't really grasp how long time games take to produce, especially if you are doing something new and you are and it's a very ambitious project of any kind. They take a very long time, and normally when they say how long a project takes, when they say that, they don't even, sometimes they don't include the concept period where they are trying to look for ideas for a project. So even though yes, Star Citizen is taking ages, at the same time that's nothing that hard to imagine. on daddy duty. I will have to put my headphones this way so I can't hear chapter master Dante. So yeah, I mean, once again, I mean, development time for projects, it's insane. It takes so many years. And that's, for example, one of the reasons why I decided just to leave studio position, because I was tired of being locked in project for years. So yeah, once again, it's a very long time of production for Star Citizen, but if you put things in perspective, it's not still, it's on the high end, but still it's not as crazy as people tend to think. Lucius, I don't like Tau either. Okay, good. Cheers. Richard, 2020. Peter, the translated title for the movie Alien in Poland was The Last Voyage of the Nostromo. Okay, yeah, so then I guess it's not so different from Spain. I mean, in terms of changing titles. One of my favorites is this old film, Bruce Willis films, Die Hard. In Spanish, it would be translated like Crystal Jungle. Don't ask me why, but yeah. Richard, Miguel, paint her sleepers with rabbit heads. Oh yes, of course, Richard. I must do that. Yeah, let's continue with it, and I will definitely add that. Simon, Elite Dangerous received a big update on free movement on planet, if I remember correctly. Have you tested? Also, what are your thoughts on No Man's Sky? In terms of sandbox games, it's a good one, in my opinion. Yes, of course, I have tested. I mean, as I said, I was a backer of Star Citizen and also of Elite Dangerous because I love space games and space simulators. I love them. So yes, I, like I said, I have played so much of Elite Dangerous, and I I could consider myself an ace pilot. I'm very good at flying in these games. I'm very good. So I enjoy these. I love them. The thing is, I played Elite Dangerous because it's been a full-fledged game with limits in its scope. But I mean, the subject of Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen is very interesting because even though they had originally the same, you could say or argue the same scope of the game, they had a very different approach in development. Which, in my opinion, I think the best one is the one that Elite Dangerous did, which was okay. So we are gonna develop a core for the game, which is gonna be limited in its scope, and then we will continue building on top of that and adding more and more things. until we reach the full-fledged scope of the game. While Star Citizen is doing everything at the same time and is not going to deliver anything until it's fully everything is done, and that's why it's taking so long. So my problem at the moment with Elite Dangerous is that they have forgot their original scope. And this expansion, which bring the possibility of you leaving the spaceship and be a character where you can walk around and etc., is very limited. I mean, it's good in certain way on the fact that it delivered the fact that you can walk around, but it's extremely limited, and it's a little. At the same time, I'm a little bit disappointed as well, because again, this is just my opinion. I have no insights, and I might be completely wrong. But from seeing the type of quality of work that they have done in Frontier Development, the developers behind Elite Dangerous, is that they started with a very talented core team, and they did a fantastic job visually, I mean, in all senses. But now I'm speaking mostly as an art team. Extremely talented. Through the years, I feel, well, I know that many left, and they started to release very mediocre art in design and how the ships are built, and the same thing with this new expansion where you can walk around. The color, the design is very cartoony, so it just losing the realism that it originally started with. There is very of course, I'm a professional, so I'm very picky with these things. It's not bad, but to me it doesn't reach the bar that I thought they should reach. So very lazy design choices. I feel that they don't have an art team that is as talented as the people that used to be there. And I know from a concept art point of view that I don't know who is there, but I know a lot of concept artists that were working there that were very talented, and they left a while back. And I think that really shows on the quality, sadly. And again, it's not bad. It's just that it is not reaching the quality of a AAA game. And it's the same thing with the planets and stuff like that. And especially when you compare, and I think it's even more aggravating when you compare it with Star Citizen, with all its myriads of problems and things that doesn't work. Still, visually, it works. It's so, it's on another league. So, for a long time, I was very much behind Elite Dangerous and as a game, because they were delivering and was very good. But at some point, I feel they lost the track, and yeah, it's so I'm a little bit disappointed on how things are with Elite Dangerous. I mean, to the point that, like I said, I love the game, and now I don't give a damn about what is going on. It's not worth it. I mean, one of the things, another aspect that I enjoyed about these games, but especially some of these with space games and sandbox is the fact of exploring, the fact that you can get lost and they haven't done a good job with Elite Dangerous in that regard. Even before this expansion, it was even as limited as it was better than what it is at the moment, which is mind blowing if you think about it. When the expansion should have opened a huge and insane amount of possibilities. So I'm just disappointed. I don't know if I'm maybe too fair. I don't know. For example, another aspect that it was part of the core vision of the Kickstarter campaign for Elite Dangerous was the fact of you, like they do on Star Citizen, that you can walk around on the spaceship. There will be a lot of gameplay surrounded the spaceship and things to do inside and stuff like that. And now they just completely abandoned that. So it feels very bad. And about No Man's Sky, I haven't tried it, but I know that it's very good for yeah. So also a very interesting tale of development, right? and things what to do and what not to do. So I'm very happy for them that they managed to save the face after the big failure that was the release of the original release of the game. So especially considering that I'm absolutely certain that the ones to be on the fault wasn't the studio itself, even though they have a responsibility for sure, but it was mostly the publisher Sony that they I feel that they force their hand to release when they were asked to release, and that was a big mistake. And yeah, sorry, I don't know if you guys think this topic is interesting development or not. So just let me know, and I will stop talking about these things. The reason in my case as a gamer myself, why I haven't tried No Man's Sky is the fact that it's a little bit too cartoony for me, and that doesn't. I don't like it personally. What I mostly look in this type of games is immersion. So that's why I like the how it's called, the simulator aspect of the game. And No Man's Sky feels a little bit too casual. So it's not for me. But it's a great game. I know, I mean, I have seen people playing it, so I normally even games that I don't play myself, but they are have some notoriety. I force myself to watch people playing. So I think it's my responsibility as a professional on the game development, just to be aware of what is going on. Cheers. And for example, that's why I'm such in love with DayZ. And after, I don't know, was it released the mod in 2012, I'm still playing it. I love it, and it's very mature because it gives you all the options to, and it's very immersive. And yeah. Miguel, good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Now it's official, right, Miguel? Is it official now? Can we share the good news? Lucius, a Daisy-like sandbox in space sounds fun. Yes, that's my dream project. That's why I feel Star Citizen will be. I don't think Star Citizen will never live up to the hype people have for it, but ignoring that, it could be still a great game if they can deliver the sandbox. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's that's the thing, right? From what I can see so far, I feel that if they manage to deliver to release the game, I think it will be there in terms of like a space Daisy, because they are. I mean, it's difficult to say for certain because many of the things that they talk about is just talk, nothing that you can see now on the game itself or on the demo. So until you see it, yeah, you need to be skeptical. But if they pull up what they are talking about, then yes, I feel that they are implementing, or they will implement all the mechanics and all the tools for basically the players do whatever they want, and to be kind of like DayZ. So you just make your own stories. You even though there will be PVE and PVE missions and stuff like that, I feel like most of everything will be more player driven, as in DayZ, and which is what makes it, in my opinion, like a unique game in that sense. And so intense. I mean, there is few games that rise my heartbeats as Daisy. It's very low paced at times, but when action start, and it's like such an adrenaline rush. It's insane. Uh, Sergio Ponce, hi Miguel. Is a good exercise to paint a picture of a pro artist? Yes, it is. You mean to reproduce the painting of somebody else? Yes, of course, it is a very good thing to do, for certain. It's very, very good exercise, but you must do it trying to understand what the original author of that painting did. So why he or she did that in that way and not another way. So don't just copy mindlessly, just copying for the sake of copying, but just try to think what was the process and why the author did the things he did in that way. So, and if you do it that way, it's an excellent exercise. It is. Mr. Wong, so cool, man. Thank you, much appreciated. Simon, thanks for the thoughts on Elite Dangerous. Very interesting. I agree with the majority of what you said. And yeah, I think you would like No Man's Sky if you are into exploration and discoveries. Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I think that seeing you like Elite and Star Citizen, the cartoony side of it may be the reason you like it less. The gameplay is also less simulation. Yes, yeah, exactly. So I know it delivers on that exploration and free roaming and all of that, but it's the immersion aspect that kind of don't make it for me. But still, I think it's an excellent game. And yeah, again with Elite Dangerous, it's such a disappointment because seriously, some of my best gaming experience in all my life are in Elite Dangerous. I have some that are just insanely good. Always with against other players. But yeah, it's such a shame that they lost the scope. And there are certain things that really annoys the hell out of me from a professional point of view. Like, I mean, this is a very particular thing, but I hate, for example, when you are walking on the floor, right? And since it's a sci-fi setting, so they start to add sci-fi details. So you have the floor, right? A little bit in perspective. And then instead of just being blank, then okay, we need to fill it with details that speaks of science fiction, right? So they start to add a lot of textures and things that use. I mean, when you see it in Elite Dangerous, you see that it's just so lazy, and because there is no thought behind it. They are just putting shit all over the place, like, and something that really annoys the hell out of me. For example, you have grids on the floor, so you have like a area that is, for example, like this, and then you have like a grid with some metal bars, something like this, right? And visually speaking, yeah, it creates like noise and makes it feel like science fiction, like space looking thing. But when you look it closely, you see like, but this is so retarded because I mean the texture is so big. So you would, I mean, if you were walking here, you would just like falling or sliding the feet into the things. It doesn't make any sense. You start to see a lot of those design decisions that are just very, very lazy. So if it's the floor, you should have a floor that it's okay. You still can have details and things to make it interesting and spicy, and that give this space flavor, but make it in a way that you could actually walk into it without falling, right? So it is, again, it just details. It's not game breaking or anything, but it annoys the hell out of me. And the same thing with textures on the characters, on the ships. That is, for example, since now with the new expansion you can walk around, then you could say that the scale of things have shrinked, right? Because now you can see everything through the human scale, when before you could do that through the cockpit, but it was very limited, so it was difficult to have an impression of the pure of the scale of things, but that is not the case now. So now, instead of the biggest problem they have at the moment, in my opinion, is that they haven't reworked the textures on the game of anything to work on a human scale. So the details that you had on the spaceships that worked before, since you didn't have a human scale, they worked. But now that you see everything through a human scale, you see details that are super huge and doesn't make any sense and looks like toys. And yeah, it looks very bad, in my humble opinion. So yeah, it is very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. And this disappointment comes from the love that I felt for that project. So yeah. Cheers. And yeah, so with Star Citizen, once again, I think the scope, I love the scope and the vision for what the game is supposed to be. And I'm certain they are genuinely working on it and everything is moving forward. The question is going to be how long it's going to take them. I'm certain they will get there somewhere if by some reason the whole thing breaks apart before they reach there. But if they have the funds and the time, then I'm certain they can do it. But it will take time. Still, I mean, I would say at the very, very least, from what I see now, things at the very, very least, 3 more years. And I'm thinking I'm being very, and that's too little. Oh, so yeah. And of course, I'm not jumping into the more controversial things about Star Citizen, which I think they were pretty bad. I mean, there for some years there was the legitimate question if they were really doing any work at all to do a game for real on the beginning, because at that time I couldn't see any real work done. It was just fluff. They were selling fluff. Um, just talking a lot of things. They were just like, yeah, just fluff. No, no you. I mean, knowing how you do games, you could see that yeah, this is just nothing. But on the latest years, then they started. I don't know what happened in there and what was the process, but at some point they started to actually show that yeah, now they were actually showing real development and talking real development. Uh, but yeah, in the beginning they were just talking fluff. I mean, and you're gonna be able to do this and that and whatever without, it's like yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. You cannot do that in a game because that will imply so many problems. I mean, yeah, it's talk. It was a time where of course talking is for free, and just by talking out of your ass you can't promise everything and everything. Yeah, but they were trying to appeal the fantasy of people, but but not being realistic whatsoever. But now it's fantastic to see that they are actually working on a real game. So that is great. And I really hope that they succeed because once again, I love the scope. And also, it's been a crowdfunded game. It's just for the sake of all the people that have invested on the project. It would be such a tragedy that it fails. I'm so behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna catch up. Let's see. Pro 4210. Hello, welcome to the stream. Miguel, yes, it is official. Did my first week. Nice. So, well, I think it's fair. I would prefer if you just say it yourself in the chat, Miguel. I don't want to take away the joy of giving the news on the chat. So please do. Pro 4210 Daisy in Space. I have played with the idea of a Mars map for Daisy. I spend too much time playing Daisy. I need art. I need to art more. Oh, so you are a Daisy player. Nice. I'm here as well. I love it. Since the mod times, and I don't get tired. It's insane. Of course, now I don't play as much because I don't have the time, but I still, when I can, I still play it. I love it. And yeah, that would be awesome. A mod in Mars, even though it has its challenges. To do a space mod for Daisy, it's complicated because that would mean that you would have to create so many assets just for the mod. So I would say that better just to create a new game than just a mod because of But yeah, like I said, my absolute dream project would be a Daisy in space type of thing. And when I mean the Daisy, is like we were talking the sandbox aspect and everything. It's player driven, so they just give you all the tools to do anything you want within the set of the parameters, right? That's for me. That's the dream. I mean, the level of replayability that Daisy has, it's insane, and being still fresh and exciting as hell. There is no game in that come close to it. Lucius, congrats again, Miguel. Okay, so Lucius is on the know already. Peter, did you watch the movie Pandemonium? No, I have not, but it rings a bell. What is it? I'm certain I have seen something about it recently, but no, I haven't seen it. I think. Vanity, hello. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? Vanity, Star Citizen will come out by 2088. And by that time, humankind is already out in space and the game will look anything but impressive. Just kidding, just kidding. I love their ambition and goals too. Yeah, but you are not that far off. Yeah, I mean that's the thing that we are talking about. It's gonna take. I mean, they had take a very long time so far, and still from what they show, they still have a lot of work to do to have a full-fledged playable game. I mean, that's what it is, which is I understand that people are very anxious and get tired of waiting, but the truth is, like any of some of the big projects, they take this long time. It's just that they don't announce anything until it's almost done, right? So I don't know, like let's say like GTA, Sant Andreas, like all those, I'm certain they took around 10 years or something to but they don't speak about them. I mean, the Division, I think it was more than 7 years if I recall correctly, and I worked on that one, and it's way less ambitious, right? And we're talking about 7 years of development, which is insane. But yeah, so that's one of the things that people need to understand when it's crowdfunding. Is like, okay, so if you start from the very beginning, then it's gonna take ages, and yeah. And then of course, if you add into the mix mismanagement, which I'm certain has happened on the project, which have delayed things, which is, I mean, to be fair, also part of development. So you cannot expect a development that is gonna go smooth all the time. There's always gonna be delays and things that need to be reworked, and bad decisions that need to be fixed, and yeah, etc., etc. So. Pro, feature creep is a problem in game development. Yes, it is. It is. Indeed. Art of Colo. Hola Miguel, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está todo? Tu interpretación de Warhammer 40.000 es buenísima. Gracias. Muy amable. Estoy tratando de aprender tu manera de dibujar, copiando los retratos de los primarcas. Bueno, me alegro. Bueno, muchas gracias. Muy amable. Y bienvenido al stream. Peter, lately I love games use storytelling. Yes, I can enjoy those as well, for sure. But for me, in those cases, the story needs to be very good, because lately it happens that I'm losing patience. So it's like, okay, I don't care. I just, it needs to be a very compelling story. so that's so the game itself is not enough for me anymore, when they rely too much on story. So but yeah, I mean, if it's good, I love games like that as well. For example, to me so far, one of my favorites is Last of Us and Last of Us 2. I've like masterpieces in that sense. Not only on the game itself, which I think is fantastic, like the game side, but then the story and how it's driven, the action and everything is fantastic, and the characters and everything is fantastic. Just pure masterpiece, in my opinion. Miguel, okay, there you go. So I'm now an illustrator at Games Workshop. Yes, Miguel. Yeah, no, sorry, that was the wrong one. Yes, Miguel. Yes. Miguel has done it. He's working for Games Workshop there on the studio. So there you go. I always told you guys that he's an awesome artist. There you go. Well, not because I said it, but because he is. Yeah, but yeah, Miguel, I'm super happy for you. It's so well deserved. And now he's with the real pros there. Please say hello to everybody. I don't know if because of COVID you are still working from home. Everybody's working from home, or uh, everybody's at the studio. But if they are, please say hello to all the peeps there. Josh Bentley, hey Miguel, I finally caught your stream in real time. Your work and attitude are a big inspiration to me. Hope you are well. Thank you, Josh. That is very kind to say. Thank you, and welcome to the stream. I'm very glad that you made it. And yeah, I hope that you will stay and you will join more times as well. How are you, by the way? Uh, Art of Cigar. No, sorry. Art of Z Art. Sig Art. Hey, hey, welcome to the stream. Um, yes. I mean, Miguel, he's good. He's good. He's very well deserved. And now I cannot wait to see what he delivers in there. So no pressure. Nikolai Patrikev, hi Miguel, hello, welcome to the stream. So we are here celebrating and sharing the good news that Miguel da Silva, not that is there on the chat, he just started to work as an illustrator in the at Games Workshop in studio. So what a dream come true. All right, let's do a little bit. Peter, I was 17 minutes behind the live stream. How dare you, Peter? How dare you? Josh, I definitely will in the future, and I'm well, thanks. Working on a commission and listening to the stream is my perfect Saturday night. Perfect. Cheers to that. Ooh. I need to go and check on the baby. Wait a second. I will be back. All right, I'm back. I guess he dreamed a little bit about the Tyranid attack on the Baal or something. Let's see. Where was we? Yeah. Was going up. I was about to cheer. So there. I need to drink faster. The beer start to get warmer, and that's not good. Yeah, vanities. Very good. Very good advice to Miguel. 23 Etza, hello. Why didn't you post your Nemesis challenge work on our session yet? Hello, welcome to the stream. Because I'm busy as hell, that is why. So, yeah, I have plenty of work that I need to post on our station. I'm too busy with the baby and work. So, yeah, that's my excuse. But I will put it soon. Vanities, fake it till we make it. You got this. Well, I don't think he need to fake it anymore. He made it. Pandemonium is a sci-fi horror film. Man, it rings a bell. I might have actually seen it. Can you tell a little bit more about it? Man, the thing is, my brain is lately is completely fried. I mean, if I had some issues before, right? Now it's worse than ever. So, man, I may have seen it, but I can't recall. Or I have seen something about it. I don't know. Please let me know. Uh, uh, Miguel, I will say hello for you, Miguel. Thank you, man. Everyone seems to be in the office. I had drink with Phil and Lewis on Friday. I fell out of my depth. Yeah, I can feel. And yeah, Lewis and Phil, they are awesome guys. They are fantastic, both as artists and as people. So yes, man, I'm very happy for you. If I was on another completely situation and many years ago, I think that would be my absolute dream place to be, for sure. And especially being in such a good company. So, man, enjoy it as much as you can. Share this period of your career because it's priceless. So 23, it's sorry to hear. Well, man, it's not that. It's we don't need to be so dramatic. I will put it. I will put it on our station for sure. It's just that I'm just busy. I Yeah. Juan Toledano art. Best advice ever. Yes, yes, it was. Pro. I have a small game dev doc somewhere for a game where you are a survivor of a crashed prison ship. Basically, a survival game on an alien world. There are other survivors, part of the prison ship crash. You can gather to main factions, prisoners, and guards, and there are alien local life forms. But I would need a team to pull it off, and I'm not in a position of being able to pay anyone. I can do some of the concept art and modeling, but I'm not a coder. Common problem, I guess. Yes. Yeah, it sounds like a fantastic idea. But yeah, man, making games is not easy. You need a lot of. There are so many disciplines involved, right? So yeah, it is not an easy thing to do. But well, I mean, like anything, it's about how much um, will or yeah, you want to time and effort you want to invest on it. So maybe you don't have money, you as an individual, but I mean, you can try to put together a team of people, and try to look for to do like some kind of how's it called, proof of concept, a small demo or something, and try to look for financing the project, talking to publishers, and create your own small indie studio. I mean, people do that, so it can be done. But of course, it's a lot of work and headache, and yeah. So that's what I mean. You are willing to go into that rabbit hole. That sounds like a lovely idea. But yeah, game development, yeah, it's a difficult thing. Very, very, very difficult indeed. That's why I roll my eyes when people, I mean, just gamers, they complain about games and about and complain about the game developers and how they should have done things in that way or another. And it's just like, oh my god, people have no clue. And they, and also like this thing where everything is taken for granted without understanding sometimes the huge amounts of work it takes to do certain things, and the technical achievement that implies to do certain things, and people just take it for granted, everything. And and it's always a matter of talent as well. I mean, like this common argument, yeah, but yeah, they had so much money, why haven't they do this or that? Is like, well, these things sometimes you don't just solve it with putting more people and throwing money at it. You just need the right talent, and sometimes it's not easy to find the right people to do certain things because they are very difficult, they are rare, or maybe they are not interested in working on your project. So that's another huge thing that people don't think about. The pool talent, and that is limited. So crew wakes up on a colony ship that's collided with something, and there are creatures stalking the ship. Then no, I haven't seen it. Oh man, is it on the cinemas? Is it where is it playing? I'm certain I have heard of it. I have seen something about it, but I cannot recall right now. But I'm guessing from what you are saying that it is good, right? Art of Color programmers, dude. If you want to make games, you need programmers, and they like to get paid. Art is a lot in games, but you need to have a team first. First of all, or be a jack of all trades. Yeah. Well, but programmers are not the only ones that like to get paid. But yeah, I mean, it is a complicated thing to do. It is. And everything need to be good. I mean, anything, there are so many things that need to work. So yeah, it is complicated. And of course, the more ambitious you are and the more complicated game you want to do, the more complicated everything becomes. But yeah. You want to do a Tetris type of game, then okay, that nowadays is it's very much achievable, right? But it's something a little bit more complex than, yeah. Talking about that, for instance, and going back to Star Citizen, one thing that people complain a lot is like, why there is no, you cannot save things in the game. What they are trying to do is a very difficult thing to achieve, to create like consistency in the universe. And if you leave something, it stays there. And if you save items and storing things and they remain through play sessions, and and it's the same for every player, and in every location it's the same. That is insane. And yeah, you need to create that from scratch. So there is so much engineering that comes with that, and people are not, they don't grasp the challenge, the technical challenge that is. And yeah, and it takes an insane amount of work and time to pull something that and that works, because that you can. The other thing is that you might manage to come up with something that kind of works but it's not reliable, so that would be a fail as well. So not only you need to come up with something that that works, but that works well. So yeah, it is yes, very very complicated field. And once again, people have no idea for the most part. Pro, I want to stay realistic. Happy is easy, finishing strong is hard. Yeah, it is. I don't want to ask people to work for free just because I have a nice idea. No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, that's what I mean. That sometimes, okay, you don't have them. That's one of the things that's definitely the right way to approach, right? So, okay, you don't have the money. Well, if you don't have the money, you don't ask people to work for free. That's it. but there are solutions to that, right? Of course, the question is, are you willing to commit yourself uh, to do it? Because all the risk that implies. So you can ask for money to a bank, right? To ask for a credit. In that way, you can get enough funds to do to maybe pay for a small team of people to work on something, and then that's the stage for asking and looking for publishers, and so it's a long route, and of course it's risky and all of that, but it can be done. But yeah, I the subject of people that goes around exactly like you are saying, yeah, have such a good idea, it's the best, whatever, but I don't have money, so you're gonna have to work, you're gonna trust me, and you're gonna have to work for free for this time, and then I will pay you or whatever. So it's, you need to have a very, I mean, that's not the right way to do, unless you, I don't know, it's very special situations where you know very well the person, and you both believe very strongly on the project, and I don't know, I don't want to, but in general terms, that is absolute no. Well, if you don't have the money, then you don't have a project. That's it. The same thing as sometimes people, yeah, this is such a perfect I'm not talking about you, right? So it's just like, I'm just talking about the experiences or things that I have seen in my career, where I hear about somebody just like, I have this project and it's gonna be, and it's so ambitious and whatever. It's like, okay, and they ask for rates, and they say, oh no, but that's too much. Oh no, but that is very expensive. It's like, all right, but okay, so you are telling me that this is such a ambitious project that is gonna be so, it's gonna change the world, right? But you, and but you want to have that as an objective, but you are not willing to pay to get there, then what the hell? I'm sorry, but then you don't have a project. I mean, you know, it's so simple. It's like, okay, if you don't have the money, or it's out of your budget, then maybe you need to reconsider the scope and do something that is way more simple, and that's it. But you cannot be trying to achieve like your goals at the cost of exploiting others. I mean, it just yeah, it gets into my nerves. You don't have the money, you don't have a project. That's it. That's how I see it. And yeah, it's like, I always like to put this um, other like example, like if it was in another um, field, right? Like, let's say, oh, I want to build a house. You are talking to the construction company that is gonna the architect and everything, and you start like, yeah, I want to have this villa, and it's gonna have so many hundreds of square meters, and with a garden and whatever. So okay, yeah, fantastic, great, yeah, well, everything is like, okay, so then let's start to talk budget, and then you say, yeah, but I only have $20. Let's just random. It's like, yeah, trust me, it's gonna be the greatest project you're gonna work in your life. It's gonna look great on your CV, and when I resell it, when it's done, I will pay what I owe you. They're gonna say, okay, bye bye, if they don't punch you directly in the face, right? So it's the same thing. Oh, okay, so you have this project, or you have this objective of making so much money with this project, okay, then find uh, and gather the funds to develop that project and pay what it costs to do it. I don't know. It's just, but again, so I'm not talking at all about you, pro. So it just like it just you kind of touched a very sensible fiber in me about this topic, and it just like I remember all these things. But yeah, I'm not talking at all about you. So, and you were talking exactly the same as I was saying. So yeah. Art of Color, Pandemonium or Pandorum? Pro, there are too many indie projects like that out there, and most of them strand halfway through. Yeah, it is. It is true. But at the same time, there are many reasons for projects to fail, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if other fails, doesn't mean that is an unviable route. And I'm talking about in this context, because it could be just that they were not good, that they took very poor decisions, that they, there are so many reasons. So, because on the other hand, there are plenty of other indie studios that they are doing things right. And they have a great success as well. So, yeah. But again, also that speaks to what we're talking about of how difficult development is. And a lot of people think they can develop games and they reality crash on them. Yeah, it is very hard. Better, Pandemonium is like 5 or 7 years old. Really? Oh my goodness. I think I watched it on Amazon Prime, or it was on Netflix. Good is subjective, but I enjoyed it. Maybe it was Pandorum. Okay, I will try to research a little bit about it. But I swear that I recently I heard or saw something about something called Pandemonium. Maybe it was on an ad on Netflix. Maybe I will check it up. And thanks for the suggestion. I love that you guys give some suggestions for films, because I'm always on the look for good films. By the way, talking about science fiction and films and stuff like that, I don't know if you remember that last stream I was talking about The Expanse and that I was reading the books. Now I'm on book 3 of The Expanse, and it's so good, so good. I'm loving it. The Crusader. I have somewhat strange question. All right, let's see. But I would love to hear your input as a professional. What do you think about artists doing Rule 34 instead of their normal art, as it seems to be more profitable? What? Rule 34? What is that? This is the moment where I'm supposed to sound like a professional, but I have no clue. What is that? Okay, I see that you just wrote. Okay, rule 34 is basically porn and hentai mate. Okay. I'm such an angel. I have no idea what you're talking about. I never heard of it. I truly, I had no idea. Well, I mean, I have no problem with it. I'm very much the type of person that I just, if people like to do whatever they like to do, just feel free to do whatever you like to do. I'm not nobody to judge. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't have a I don't have a strong position about it. If people like to do that, then good for them, I guess. Yeah. If you ask me if I like it, or well, I'm never been into that, so I'm not that interested. Of course, I can enjoy some more, how could you call it, adult or erotic, or even more, even pornographic art. Well, maybe not pornographic, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how it's done, but I mean, sex and nudity and in art and all of that, I'm totally, I have no problem with that, and it can be fantastic as well. I've been part of the hardcover projects in the 2 first books myself, so I have nothing against it, and there is fantastic adult art that I can appreciate a lot. So I don't know, it depends. So like everything, it can be very poorly done and with very little taste, or it can be done fantastically, or it could be, yeah, I have no idea. Normally with all these type of topics, the best way is just to talk about specifics about this piece or this artist and what this person does in general. Like if talking in these very abstract terms it's very general, so difficult to say. But overall, I don't have a strong opinion about it. If people like to do it, then good for them. Yeah. Of course. Well, now that I'm rereading your question, if the question is regarding of, okay, I like to do certain type of art, but I decide not to do it and just do that because it brings it's profitable and I can make money out of it, then is another question. And then of course, in that equation, I would say that it depends if by doing so you enjoy doing it. And of course, I mean, it's important to take in consideration, of course, is like, okay, what kind of there is no other way of making money. And of course, then if you must pay your rent, and then of course then it's a completely viable way of making money, then just go for it, right? But if you just do it for the sake of money and you don't enjoy it that much or whatever, then I think that would be a very bad move. I think it is very important to be true to your artistic drive and what you like to do and what motivates you. If not, you are just gonna burn yourself very, very soon. So yeah. Art of Color. It's Pandorum, dude, and the movie is awesome. All right, Pandorum. Okay, then the one I'm certain I have heard something about is Pandemonium, and I have heard something or seen something recently. But if it's Pandorum, I have absolutely no clue, but I will definitely check it up. Lucius, have you thought more about doing an interview with Paul Dayton? Sorry. Paul Dayton at some point down the road? Yes, I am. I have actually been considering recently. It's just that I'm so many things on my head that yes. So yes, I'm considering it very strongly lately. Yes. And I'm certain. Well, the other question will be if he would like to do it. We'll see. I hope that I don't need to put too much convincing into it. But yeah, I'm certain that I personally would enjoy it quite a lot, and I hope that I can make it in a very interesting way for him as well, or entertaining, or engaging for him as well, but also for you guys. If I do it, I depending on how the experience goes, I might consider to interview other artists as well. We'll see. But something that I'm on my considerations about that is that I will open a time to write questions because I don't want to do the interviews live. So if I do the interviews, I will record it and then would edit it and publish it. So in order to have some questions from you guys, I might ask for a certain question that you might be interested of me making or something like that. I don't know. I'm just like considering. But yes. So yes, the answer is yes. Vanity. I can't even build a house of cards for 20. Yes. Yeah, that was a bad example, but just to make a point. But these type of characters exist, and it is insane to me. It's just like, and I have no idea what type of things go in their heads. It's just like, I mean, dude, it's just like as that simple. If you don't have the money, how dare you just pick about dreams of grandeur and and ambition? It's just like, well, you don't have the means to do it, then you cannot afford it. It's that simple. You need to pay. If you want something great, you need to hire people that are great, and that costs money. People need to make a living. Yeah, it's very infuriating and insulting. I don't know. Pro, even big game studios mess up. Oh yes, indeed. They do a lot. I have worked on mods for big game studios, working ahead of signed contracts because the deadline was too tight. Nice. And then the project falling through because of office politics and because of the contracts weren't signed yet. It has made me wary. Yeah, I mean, yes, you are totally right. So it's like even like super prestigious AAA game studios, everything. I mean, they are not safe from fault and screwing things up big time. I mean, yeah, I've been working in studios for more than 20, well, not, yeah, since I've been freelancing for, almost 20 years in studios, and with lots of AAA games, and is insane the amount of bad decisions, mismanagement, and but that's at the same time, that's also part of the project, and things that are, when there's a lot of people involved, there is more possibilities of some people screwing things up. So, but again, I mean, that's something to assume that is part of the development process, that you cannot assume that everything is going to be smooth and perfect and everything is going to be straightforward. There's always going to be a lot of detouring and going back because things doesn't work and things are messed, and game development is messy. It is, even in the best case scenarios and with the best teams, there's always going to be things that doesn't work, and but that's the nature of the beast. I guess, and that's why it is such a difficult thing to do. Man, fantastic! So great that you are involved in modding and stuff like that. Have you, since you mentioned that you are a big Daisy player, have you done any mods for Daisy? There are some very very cool mods for the game. I tend to like a lot the subtle stuff. I'm not too much for very heavily modded servers for Daisy, but just the right ones. I'm very much into hardcore survival in Daisy, so. The Crusader is seeing a lot of money in that market. Yeah, I bet. I bet. The Crusader, it's just a bit unfortunate to see so many people have more success with that than their normal art, and it seems like I'm heading that way as well. All right. Well, I think, like I said, that there is absolutely nothing wrong with it per se. It's just you need to. It's a little bit like some people that do fan art, and they start to have a lot of success because they get a lot of commissions and stuff like that. So on the short term, it feels like, oh man, I'm doing so much money. But I think in the long term that it's a trap, and is very detrimental for you as an artist and for your career. I mean, professionally speaking, but also as an artist. And so again, if if there is a need of money and that's a very good way to do money, then yeah, go for it. Why not? I mean, to each their own, right? So it's there is no issue with that. But be wary of not that it's doesn't become everything, because you may end up into that very 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 niche thing, and time pass, and then you are gonna how do you say stagnate as an artist, and you will probably burn out, and you will realize that what the hell I've been doing all this time. So it's important to be careful with those things. And then the same thing with fan art. With fan art, I'm a little bit more critical when it comes to doing money with that. I think it's not the right thing to do. Fan art, it's something just fantastic to celebrate your people liking, like certain thing, characters or animation or film or book or whatever, or game. But there is a thin line that, in my opinion, cannot be crossed from ethical reasons, and that one is making money. So, yes. But that's my personal opinion. And once again, everybody's free to do whatever they want. So I'm not the one to judge. But when it comes to fan art, I think that's, I mean, considering we as artists, we are creators, right? It's something that it's a line that cannot be crossed. If you want people to respect then your work as well, right? So you cannot, it is not right to make money out of the work of others, I think, because then it is not fan art anymore. It becomes something else. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just derailing, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, the Crusader, if I feel that you are a little bit wary from your comment, so I would say that, once again, just be have some balance in that. So if you need the money and you think that that's a good way of making money, then yeah, go for it, but be careful and have that just as a momentary thing. But yeah, and yes, of course, it's from that point of view, I agree that it's sad that if artists cannot make any can find more success on that route. But again, that's what I mean, that is like the easy route, but it's like, yeah, like all these storytelling metaphors, like the dark side of the force. It's powerful and fast. There is going to be consequences to that, and the consequences are going to be those that you are going to stagnate as a artist. More than probably, you will most probably burn out, unless it's your passion. Then it's perfect. Then no problem there. So yeah, and yeah, it is harder to succeed being true to your nature as an artist, but it's hard, and that's the way it is, and it's always it's a marathon, and it's always going to be that way. So it's understandable that it's people are tempted to take the easy route in that way. Again, I'm not judging, but yeah, I see the reasons behind it, but yeah. So take it with caution. I would say. If the other clever way to do it is like, or I would think myself, if that gives me money, which then gives me the opportunity to continue working on my own art and continue my own interest as an artist and path, then yeah, that would be a very valuable way to do things as well. So yeah. Sergio Ponce, Miguel, in what project are you working on? Tricky question. What I'm working on? Well, I only can say one project at the moment that I'm working on. That I can talk about. All the rest are secrets and under NDA and stuff like that. So the only one that I can talk about is Dark. I only can say that I'm working on it. That's it. That's the Warhammer 40k Dark Tide game. That's the only one that I can speak of. Then yeah, I'm doing things for Games Workshop as well, but that's on illustration side of the business. So not concept art, but illustration. But aside from that, I cannot say anything. Just that and that's about it. I'm working on other things, but I cannot speak about them. And then of course, like all these tutorials and stuff like that, and preparing for my personal projects that I talk from time to time about space pirates, but I will not jump more deeply into it and more openly until I'm done with the tutorials. So more to come about it. So yeah, I'm sorry I cannot be more open about it, but that's how things are. Pro for Daisy, not yet. Would like. Namask is my favorite map. Nice. Yes, it is fantastic map. I agree. It is. Yeah. The Crusader, thanks for the input. I really appreciate it. If I were to do it, it definitely would be under another name and separate from my main stuff. That's a clever move as well, just in case, because there is. We live in a very big world, internet, and there is a lot of opinionated people and a lot of people with what's the word in English, prejudices, and you never know. So I have no issue with sex, but there are a lot of people that have issues with that, right? So you never know. So yeah, that's a very clever move. Yeah, so yeah, I agree 100% with the fan art point. A lot of money there too. Yes, and it's disgusting in my opinion. I think it is. I can understand maybe people are desperate, but it's not. Especially coming from other artists that are creators, right? That's not the right thing to do. It's not ethical. It's not moral. It shouldn't be done. but I can understand why people do it, but yeah, I think it's wrong. The Crusader, very good point. There's definitely a sinful temptation of quick riches and fame instead of the longer road for more traditional art. Yeah, it is, and it's understandable as well. But yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. I'm super tired. It's been a long day, but as always, been fantastic. And really enjoyed talking to you guys. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, I will have another round next Saturday, same time. And I wish you all a fantastic end of the weekend and a fantastic beginning of the week. I hope that you all stay safe, healthy, and paint and draw quite a lot. And keep being awesome, people. You are great. So much love to everybody and see you next week. All right. Thanks for today. Bye bye.